Hi there. Welcome to where I started. Today, if you came expecting a guided meditation, that's not what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to have a conversation. Think of it as a consultation. I don't intend to truly teach you anything. I want to show you some techniques, and then the things that there might be to actually learn within those techniques is going to be entirely up to you. I wanted to show you where I started, and I wanted to talk to you about what it was like when I started meditating and some of the pitfalls and some of the hurdles that I encountered. Um, let's talk about, first of all, where are you going to do it? At the moment, my neighborhood's pretty peaceful, but there's a couple of rambunctious dogs on the other side of my fence, and I have my own pets and children inside. And there's traffic and other things. Right now, it's really nice. It's really chill. It's about 11 a.m., and there's just birds flying all around me and landing on the bird feeder that's right above my head. So it's not always like this. So where I started, sometimes it was really hard to just get a moment of peace. Beginning to meditate is beginning to find out who you are. A lot of people in my feed on Twitter wanted me to talk about things like CE5, healing, or prayer. I'm not going to be able to teach you to do those things. What I will be able to teach you to do, though, is hopefully to find a glimpse, at least, of the place within inside yourself where you're always correct, where you're always wholesome and compassionate, and where your answers are always healthy for yourself, and where they really they build your life, and where they lift up those around them. I think most of us have found ourselves these days really overwhelmed with the world. Whether it's the political situation, whether it's the quarantine, or in the case of many of my viewers, whether it's the ongoing situation surrounding the word disclosure and unidentified aerial phenomenon, all of these things require that as individuals we find very quickly the ability to slow down, to respond instead of react, to find more compassion for those around us, especially those that have probably absolutely polar opposite opinions to us. And for some of the people that intend to branch out into more esoteric areas, places that the general public might not be as familiar with, I think that you're going to be better suited with some of the things that we're going to talk about. And of course, I'm going to show you some techniques, but I truly believe that it's more important to consider what is a baseline human? What are you without the encumbrance of self, the trappings of culture, of previous religious or dogmatic training? Who are you when all of the outside influence that helped build you is stripped away? I think in most cases you're going to find out that you're absolutely beautiful, that the person inside of you is a truly just good and unencumbered person that doesn't require the load of bullshit that you hoist upon yourself and put on your own shoulders. And it doesn't need the daily blame of others for their actions. Those things and unmet expectations are what are driving so many people towards just acting out their pain in public. And I think that the techniques to, as I said, catch a glimpse of that safety, of self. And we're not talking about any kind of political agendas. So if some of these words and phrases are hard for some people, because I'm asking you to be vulnerable. I'm asking you to face the toughest SOB that you've ever faced in your life, and that's your inner critic. I'm finding 99.9% of adults have no clue what a phrase like shadow work or mindfulness really means beyond what they may have heard on Dr. Oz or some other cute online things. But some of these techniques have thousands and thousands of years of closely guarded dogma and training behind them, which I think in today's day and age we have to discard. We can't take 20 years to go off to an ashram or find a sangha somewhere where we're going to fit in and where everything works for us and it's all nice. I really think that you need to shut up, sit down on your ass, and figure out who you are. And that's the way that I'm going to teach you. There I go saying teach again. But I also want to say right now that not everybody is cut out to immediately face that inner critic. Some of us have undiagnosed illnesses. Some of us require cognitive therapy. And we may not even have a clue that we do need that. So if you start encountering things in your journeys inside, or feelings or thoughts that are negative, seek out the help of a professional or a loved one, because there's nothing inside of you that should be hurting you. And if throughout your life, your psyche has arrived at a point where mental self-harm is part of your lifestyle or upbringing, some of those things are going to hit you hard in the beginning. So I want you guys to know what I intend to get you into. We're going to use a few different techniques that a lot of people may have heard of. We're going to use some variations of pranayama, which is specific breathing techniques. We're going to utilize some aspects of Vipassana meditation, which has to do with noting the breath and cultivating mindfulness. We're going to utilize some techniques that are inherent to a type of meditation called Dzogchen, which is, as simply put, being. It's what I like to practice the most. It's what I'm doing right now. I like to think that I'm aware of everything around me, whether it's the bugs, the birds, the helicopters, the people, and I'm okay with everything that's around me. I'm not letting any of it create a great aberration in my existence. I'm just allowing myself to exist in what Lama Surya Das and other lamas call the great perfection. That said, a lot of people are interested in things that some people talk about as if they were just handing out candy. These things are a lot of times called the siddhis. Some people call them powers. There's a whole big universe out there, and there's a whole lot inside of you, a whole lot of potential for a lot of the things that people discuss in my thread on Twitter and that they're really interested in. That's not going to be where I'm going. I don't completely dismiss those things, but I'm not here to tell you what's on the other side. I'm here to show you where the door is, and if you're courageous enough, you're going to knock and go on through. I love you guys. That's how this is going to be. It's going to be conversations with no filter and no bullshit between us, where I tell you what's what and tell you why it worked for me. I don't really care about the comment sections too much. I don't really care if you don't like the way that I'm presenting it. This is literally for the people who can get it, and this is the only way I know how to deliver it. So it's going to come personal from me to you, and we're going to get there together. All right. I'll see you next time.